Welcome back, mate. Seeing as we've done 10 episodes in the series already, I thought time for a bit of an update. First off, background, it's been 11 months. Thought it was time for an update. Switch that, put a gradient on. Tell me what you think. The main change, however, I'm going to put a timer on the puzzles. 30 seconds. Your goal is to try and solve the puzzle before the timer ticks down. I will also combine when the quotes come up on the screen with the timer, so you can actually read the quotes. I've had a fair bit of feedback that you don't get time to read the quotes when you want to, or that you don't have time to solve the puzzle. My idea was obviously that if you were interested, you would pause the video. Although judging by the analytics, it's turning a lot of people away from the channel. So I thought, let's just put a timer in. It'll be more gamified, right? So it's more of a game now. If you're under 1,000 elo, you will still struggle to solve these in 30 seconds. But just taking that 30 seconds to actually try and find the answer, it will help your long-term pattern recognition using the concept of generative learning, because you're actually trying to solve the puzzle. Those are the main two updates: new background, timer on the videos. Massive shout out to Galbish for being the first person ever to buy me a coffee on the channel. This is the first source of income I've gotten from the channel in 11 months, so it means the world. Even though you do see ads on your YouTube, it's not from me. I don't start getting the money from those ads until I've got over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within a 1-year period, which is the very difficult part of getting monetized. 97% of channels or something like this never make it. But I love me chess, so we're just gonna grind till we get there. Let's get into it. 585. Your time starts now. Good job to everyone that found we have a decoy sacrifice here. We can sacrifice the queen. The king has two options. If the king takes, our rook can slide down and deliver the checkmate. The bishop's helping restrict, and the pawn as well. However, he might try and run here. He's going to go down here. But if you found queen c4 checkmate, rook e4 checkmate, or queen d5 checkmate, you're all correct. 586. Really beautiful, these puzzles. We have an interference tactic. The move being rook to f5. The brilliance of this move is that if the bishop takes, we've interfered with the vision of the rook to the square. Also done a clearance sacrifice, got rid of the rook, and we did interference so the bishop can come in for checkmate. Also, the rook can take, interfering with the vision of the bishop on this square. That way the knight can come in for checkmate. 587. Another beautiful queen sacrifice. We sacrifice on d5. If the king takes, rook slides over, and we've got our ladder mate theme here that we've learnt. He can run, however. Doesn't matter though, we're going to finish him off with the queen here, with the rook's help. 588. I love these ones. We're going to use the coordination of the queen and the knight. Doing a decoy sacrifice. The king has no choice but to take, so we can jump in with the knight, give him the checkmate, also taking away where the king came from. 589. We'd love to play our knight here. The problem is that this knight was defending this pawn down here, so now the king's going to take it and run, and we don't have checkmate on the next move. So let's go back. The problem is this bishop's in the way. We literally just need to get rid of the bishop, and this rook will defend that pawn, right? That's how we get away with sacrificing the queen here. They have two moves. First, they block with the bishop, and we just take it. That's pretty straightforward. The other move, though, is they take the queen, and then now we can come in with the knight, delivering the checkmate with the rook support. 590. Awesome job if you found that we can sacrifice the queen here, luring the king into a discovered check. Question is, where do we move this knight? This is a double check. Looks pretty cool, but he's going to escape here, right? Where can we move the knight and take away that square? We're going to play knight to g6, taking away the runaway square from the king, discover checkmate. However, they can also go up, but we're just going to hit him with the bishop. 591. We've got a decoy sacrifice with a discovered checkmate. We sacrifice the queen on f4. If the king takes, we've lined him up with the bishop. We have to move the pawn all the way up to d4 to take away where the king can run to, and that's going to be discovered checkmate there. However, he can also run here or here. Easily met, though, with queen to d6 in a swallowtail's checkmate, because it looks like a swallow's tail. 592. Clearance sacrifice time. We want to chuck our knight here, but the bloody queen's in the way. So we've got to get rid of the queen, sacrifice it with check. It's defended by the knight, so their knight has to take. And we jump on in. We've cleared the square, so we can come in for the checkmate. 593. Your queen sacrifice senses should be tingling. You can sacrifice your queen here. Queen to e6. King must take. We jump down here with the knight. We've increased the scope of an X-ray attacker, taking away the king's runaway square. At the same time, we're delivering the checkmate. 594. This one's an absolute treat. It seems simple at first. You're just going to come in with the knight. King's going to run over, and you're going to give the check here. But after the knight blocks, it's not checkmate in two. Meaning we need to increase the scope of an X-ray attacker ahead of time. With the brilliant move, queen b6. Check. If the rook takes, we deliver the checkmate with the knight. We've increased the scope. If they try and run with the king, we can just come in with the rook for checkmate. 595. We get away with playing queen c4 here. King takes. We've let him into a checkmating net. We can follow up with the knight, taking away where he came from, so we can checkmate. 596. Your intuition might have told you to play something like this, but it doesn't work out. Instead, we need to increase the scope of our X-ray attacker, so he can come in for the checkmate. We do this by getting rid of the knight with check, knight to b2. It doesn't matter if they take with the knight or the bishop. Both of those cases, we come in with the bishop for checkmate. 597. I love this pattern. We sacrifice the rook here on c6. King must take. Following up with the queen. The king's sandwiched between the knight here, and the queen is also taking away these squares while attacking down this way. Last one, 598. These pawns are doing an amazing job restricting the king. We don't even need this rook. We can sacrifice him to force the king up so we can come in the back with that queen for checkmate. Let me know what you think about the new format with the timer and the new background in the comments below.